Hello everybody. So in today's video I am working on a painting of Totoro. I got the idea a couple nights before my last adult ballet class. That was a really fun thing to do last year, was adult ballet. Anyway, I got this idea to create this Totoro sketch in which he was doing a position in ballet known as passe, and that is where you pull your foot up and you're not resting it on your knee, you're actually like kind of hovering it above the knee. But yeah, I thought it would be fun to create this sketch of Totoro doing this position that I found really difficult. I had a difficult time with my balance, and I was just kind of laying in bed a couple nights before the class ended and got this idea of Totoro, like what if Totoro started out going to a ballet class and he was like practicing trying to figure this move out where it does require a lot of balance. So I struggled a lot with that, but I thought it'd be fun to create Totoro doing this. The difference being is that you are actually proper passe, which I'm probably going to get this a little messed up because I didn't like study ballet for a very long time. I just enrolled in an adult ballet class last year to kind of get into a workout routine because I'm not very good about that. I'm still working on that. But yeah, I thought since I did struggle with balance so much, one of the things is that you're actually supposed to do this with one foot, like you're on your toes, and that was the hardest thing for me. I struggled with that so much, and so I kind of thought, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna create this image of Totoro kind of trying to practice it, but like he's just learning it. And so I stuck him flat-footed on the ground, and I just kind of kept picturing this as very much. I just kind of was looking at like the cover of the movie and thought, okay, well, I want to basically take this cover and recreate it as Totoro is like attending a ballet class, and so he's waiting at the bus stop and he's practicing this particular move, and he's just waiting. So it's so it was fun. It was something a little bit less stressful to think about, kind of just a chance to play with colors and layout. Yeah. Anyway, I started this in my sketchbook. I was streaming the process on Twitch because I have a Twitch channel, and a link to that will be in the description box below. And then I photographed it and put it into my iPad in Procreate so that I could kind of pull the sketch apart, reposition it, adjust any proportions. For me, it's a lot less time consuming to do that than it is to continuously just mess with the sketch and make this really kind of messy, dirty type sketch. I mean, all of my sketches start out as very messy, but if I were to spend the amount of time to continuously erase and redraw, it kind of just crumples the paper, and so I prefer pulling the sketch apart on the iPad and putting it back together and modifying the drawing in that, and it takes me a lot less time to do that. And then once I finished that, I actually printed off that sketch so that I could transfer it onto watercolor paper, which I like doing this. I'm using I think I used loose roll for that. but basically it allows me to keep the watercolor paper or whatever surface I'm using to paint on extremely clean. Fun tip. Learned that one from Leilani Joy. And then I just started painting in watercolor. I played with some different colors that I wanted to use and a lot of layering, which I love layering watercolors. And you'll see that I keep going in there with a heat gun. It's kind of like having a blow dryer, but this fits my hand better and it gets a lot hotter than my blow dryer does. And frankly, I like working with it more. But blow dryer works too. So yeah. What else? The painting is done on the bee paper, the 100% cotton bee paper. I really, really love this paper. The only thing I'm not too fond of is the fact that I have to tape the paper down when I'm working with it, versus if I'm using like a watercolor block, which I'm very fond of watercolor blocks because then I don't have to mess with taping the paper down. And then I'm using a Schmincke palette that the bottom row is actually full of Winsor Noon paints, and so it's just a combination of like a couple of Schmincke colors and a couple of Winsor Noon colors, but it's kind of whatever paint you like to use, and this just happened to be the colors that I chose. So I found that a lot of fun, and I really love this palette. I love the setup of having the 3 rows and all the little mixing areas. So yeah, really like that. I used a masking fluid pen to keep his because he has those like mountain shaped marks. I didn't want any other color like mixing into that. I wanted to keep the color on that very pure, so I stuck down some masking fluid from a masking fluid pen. It's the Molotow masking fluid pen, I think. So, but yeah, I did that. I waited for it to dry, and then I was able to put the color that I wanted for his belly, and then once that was dry, I was able to remove the masking fluid and continue on with coloring in those little mountain-shaped markings. I'm not really sure what they're called, so we're going to continue calling them little mountains. And yeah, continue on with the rest of the color and paint, and I love paint, so trying to think of what else to talk about. Yeah, this piece was a lot of fun. It was just kind of a like low stress type piece. I really just wanted to play, and so I thought, hey, I'll go with this basic idea. So character doing ballet, and then from there it was, oh, well, what do I do with this character? And I just recreated the cover. I just altered it a little bit, but it kept all of that very simple so that I was just able to work on a piece. This is not meant to be a serious piece. This is just meant for me to work on something. And sometimes I just really, really need that. And I would recommend that to any artist out there that if you're struggling coming up with ideas or just like actually getting motivated to work on a piece, just go for something that is about as simple as you can get in terms of, oh hey, I'm gonna redraw something that I've seen, or I'm gonna like maybe alter something just enough so that you're kind of getting these ideas, but it allows you to do something. So to continue with the painting, after I was done with the paint, I went in with colored pencils and Copic Multiliners, just fine liner, I kind of was doing just finishing touches. I ended up using some, I think I used some white acrylic ink, either that or some gouache. I cannot remember what I was using, but I needed to lighten up the bus stop sign, which I altered to have little ballet slippers because I thought that would be really fun. Oh look, here's your destination, ballet class. So I hope you enjoyed this painting. If you have any questions at all, let me know. Or if you have a challenge that you would like me to try, then I would love to hear about it. Like I said, I have been streaming on Twitch. The link for that will be in the description, as I already said earlier. And I will also have a list of materials that I used in the description as well. So I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys in the next video.